Welcome back to Fuel Up Classic. Now, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. It makes all the difference. And if you love classic cars of all varieties, all ages and all types, then this is the channel for you. Now, you may have seen my previous video on this car. This is my Project 1966 MGB GT that I bought pretty much unseen. I haven't been able to get it running because it didn't come with any keys. I've got no idea of the condition of any of the mechanicals whatsoever. So in this video, you are going to join me as I genuinely try and start this car for the first time. I have changed the ignition barrel, which was my main problem, and I mentioned in the previous video that this car has some very, very sketchy wiring, and we've done a few little things there just to see if we can coax the legendary B series engine into life. I've got no idea how this is going to go, but I thought I'd share it with you. This channel is all about the highs and the lows of running old cars. And I'm really keen that this car doesn't turn into a full restoration project. I just want to enjoy it for what it is. It's not a particularly good example, I should say, but it is a solid base for a running restoration, which is my plan with this car. I want to save it and I want to have some fun with it in the summer. And obviously, the first thing I've got to do is find out whether it starts and runs. So join me now and we'll see if we can coax this car into life. So I've been down to the MG Owners Club shop and just picked up a few little goodies for this car because I'm not quite sure what it's going to need. And as I mentioned in my previous video, I'm not entirely sure when this car was last run or driven on the road. It last had an MOT about 5 years ago, so we would presume somewhere around that time, and it has been sat pretty much ever since, apart from being delivered to my house. Now, the first item I've changed, it was the offending ignition barrel. I didn't have a key, and all the wiring behind it was really, really sort of bodged together and taped up and that kind of thing. So I didn't even want to hotwire the car in case we had some sort of electrical fire. So really cheap part, quite easy to replace actually. That's the first thing that's been changed on this car. I've put a nice fresh battery on it as well. Now, traditionally, these cars have twin 6-volt batteries. This one has just got one large high-capacity 12-volt battery these days on this. So hopefully that'll have enough power to get things started over. And, of course, a good few gallons of premium unleaded fuel have gone into the tank as well. I've checked the levels, made sure there's some coolant in there, made sure the oil level is fine. And I've checked the oil in the dash pots and everything seems to be okay. But a few other little bits that general service items really that I expect will need to be replaced. Spark plugs, fuel lines, vacuum hoses, distributor cap, and rotor arm, that kind of thing. Just general service items. If you're not coming from a classic car background, these might all seem a bit alien to you, but these really are essential service items on the car. So we'll be replacing them anyway, regardless of whether this car starts or not. But this is the bit I've been putting off for a little while, and really where I find out whether I bought an absolute lemon that's going to cost me a fortune to put right, or if we can get it up and driving, then at least I know we've got a great foundation to start using and improving this car. So you'll probably notice that not everything is how it should be in here. The glove box is pretty much hanging off. That needs to be fixed back. This has been added at some point, but the wire's cut and just left bare. This has all been chopped and changed around. None of these switches, I think, do anything. I don't really know. We'll find out if we've got ignition. These gauges don't appear to be wired up, so I don't know why they were ever added. But anyway, let's see if we can get this to go in my first attempt. And turn the new ignition barrel. Oh, I can hear the fuel pump clicking, which is a great start. And we have some life. The dials are slightly moving. Let's see. It's turning over. We haven't got a seized engine, which is great. Doesn't appear to be much oil pressure at the moment. Okay, we'll just give that a little moment to rest. But that's a great sign. Although we haven't got life straight away, we have at least got a free engine that's willing to turn over, which I didn't know about before. So it's a step in the right direction. I can hear the fuel pump clicking away when I turn the ignition on. So hopefully there's fuel getting up to those carburetors. And let's give it one more attempt. Choke all the way out. No. Okay, oh, that was a bit of a cough. Okay, we've had a few attempts and unsuccessful so far, but it did sound like it very nearly fired then, so I've just yanked the choke all the way out as far as it can go, let it just rest for a little bit in case things were getting hot, and we'll just have one more go, see how we get on. But it did give a sign that it was going to fire on the last one, so let's give it one more chance. Way, there we go. Okay, we've got a running engine, we've got a running MGB. Doesn't sound too bad actually. There's definitely a blow on the exhaust. The glove box is about to fall off, I think. We've got oil pressure, we've got good oil pressure. Nice 70 PSI, as long as the gauge is actually correct. On tick over, that's nice to see. Let's just ease that in ever so slightly. Okay. It's certainly not happy about revving at all. Nope. Oh. Okay. Well, we have a running car, which is a massive, massive relief. It does run. Not overly very happy, but this could just be that it needs a really good service. It's probably still sucking through fairly stagnant fuel as well. So, as I say, this is just the very, very interim early days of getting this car up and running. Let's have one more go and see if it fires up again. There we go. Okay, bit of a misfire there. Certainly sounds like a fuel problem to me, but we'll have... There we are, so it starts on the key. Say choke is fully out at the moment. We'll just see what things do. If it doesn't seem to be very happy to rev, so let's just give it a little bit of time to pull that fresh fuel through, see how things are. I'll be watching these gauges like a hawk. Water temperature gauge has just started to move. Very happy with the oil pressure, as I said. That's a sign. There doesn't seem to be any smoke out the back, which is a pleasant surprise. But there's definitely a misfire when you try and apply the accelerator. Really anything more than the lightest of taps. I hope you can pick that one up on camera. There's certainly a misfire there somewhere. Perhaps that will clear once we've let it run for a little bit, but whilst we're here, let's just check if we've got a clutch. I've got no idea whether we've got brakes or not, so we'll just very quickly roll things forward and just see if we've got any. Okay, brakes aren't seized, which is good. Okay, we've got a clutch. That's brilliant. And we'll just try reverse. We've got a reverse gear as well, no jumping out of gear. Seems to be fairly smooth actually. Well, this was just a very, very brief interim video. We'll be doing much more classic car videos, and we will be doing more updates on the MGB, of course, but I just wanted to share this first starting experience with you, and I didn't really think it was going to start, to be honest. I thought this might be an extremely dull video where it's just me getting frustrated with an old car, but it's running. We think it's driving because we've moved it all of about 2 feet, but we've definitely got a misfire. But we've got the great grounds to further improve the car, and that's made my day. That's brilliant. Let's just turn things off. We'll just try and turn the choke down ever so slightly, see if it will run now things have warmed up a bit. Oh yeah, definite misfire around 1500 RPM. Doesn't seem to be too happy there. And there's a blow on the exhaust as well, but There we go.